Are y'all being comfy?
Nee.
Where?
Or how are we doing this?
Alright,
Oh,
can
okay.
we do the cut?
Yeah.
Alright. Do we have the script? Do you have a script?
Can you put that
Yes.
microphone? May I?
Yes, go for it. Oh, it's my
We're supposed to have it in the
Sounds
shot.
Whatever the question you pick out of that script.
I mean, you can just like base it off of that. It doesn't have to be like
Okay.
word for word.
Okay, are you guys ready? I'll give you a cue. Okay?
Okay.
Now,
So can you tell us a little bit about your background and how like your life kind of shaped who you became today?
Well, that's a loaded question. Do you want me to? Do you want me to hold this or? ¿Dónde? Naturally. Okay, naturally. Can you repeat the question? That's a very big question.
Can you tell us a little bit about like your background and like how you kind of grew up and like what in your environment helped shape who you are today?
Okay. So, my name is Kwok Wai Hansen. Born in the United States to my parents that immigrated from Hong Kong and the Guangdong area. So I came from a Asian American background, and through there that kind of instilled a lot of the Western U.S. growing up here, but also a lot of the Asian household that I'm sure many of you have probably grown up with. So like take off the shoes, the elders eat first, red for us Lunar New Year, red envelope, a lot of the cultural contexts growing up. And actually English wasn't my first language. It was Cantonese, which is a dialect and language spoken in Hong Kong. So I actually only spoke Cantonese until I was 6. So when I was enrolled into elementary school in the United States, didn't know that much English, so I had to learn English like I was someone that immigrated here to the United States, but I was actually born here. So that actually became a challenge, and English became my second language, and then now Japanese, maybe the third language now. But growing up, that definitely allowed me to work with a lot of various companies, partners, and opportunities, both based in Japan, China, United States, just an opportunity that kind of cross nature because of my upbringings.
So during your high school years, did you know you were gonna go into like into the film industry, or was
No.
it something different?
I thought I would have gone to esports. So I was actually a competitive gamer. In university, at the time, Overwatch was a big game, and Counter-Strike. Overwatch just came out with, I'm not sure you'll do research called Overwatch League. It was sponsored by like Coca-Cola, all the major sports companies that you know, from the New England Patriots, the LA Rams, they all had money involved before COVID and things that happened at Blizzard Entertainment. So I actually competed competitively in Overwatch and actually got scholarship money. And I thought I would go into gaming and video game and the esports industry. But then opportunity came up with Sony and other representatives while I was at university. Then I pivoted my major towards media management and understanding that as well. So growing up, no, I thought I would have been more of the video game programming side because that's what I studied in university. Did a lot of work in high school leading up to it, including interning at Northrop Grumman, a very boring company, very old school, very traditional aerospace, very cushy job, but they're all very 50, 60, and I'm like the youngest, so it was slow. But it was a very safe job, and it was all about programming, risk management, everything. But it wasn't quite for me, and then I pivoted towards media. And so that went to gaming, then towards media management and whatnot right now.
So what was the point when you realized like, oh, this is like really becoming my full-time job, like I want to continue this? What was it like the shifting point?
Shifting point was being based in the Bay Area. So I went to the University of California, Davis, and that university, funny enough, has actually produced many anime industry representatives and veterans. So you ask some people, a lot of them are probably graduated from UC Davis or around that area. I got lucky interning and then working at Crunchyroll pre-COVID, 2018, 2019, working in the brand management and understanding that industry. That's when I realized, oh, this is actually a potential opportunity and career job because Crunchyroll was growing, Animexo was getting really big. They needed moderators, they needed support from the publisher side in Japan. So a lot of the companies you may know in Japan making materials and sending it over to to the United States through Crunchyroll, Funimation, all the different companies. So I think working there definitely was like, oh, this could be something I could do.
So since you're in a leadership position, you obviously know how to manage people and all that stuff. Do you have any like advice or anything about helping young people with leadership roles?
I wouldn't say know how to run people very well. It is a ever learning, like evergreen skill, I think is the best way to word it. To fully be able to manage people, it's a challenge for sure because of the emotional ties. I imagine you're all friends right now working on this project, but if you all four had like a idea together and you have this business idea, do you still want to work together because you're starting out as friends? Kind of like, do you want to be roommates in university or adult with your best friend or someone who's a good roommate? Right? Maybe your best friend, but he's terrible at cleaning his dishes or washing the shower, right? That's a very fundamental, and the same thing with business where I've had moments where I did hire friends and there were tensions because friend and professional, how do you balance that? So for young people, I think that's that understanding of that professional side and also the friend side, how to balance that as well, but also willing to keep learning. The industry is changing so much. If you talked to me 5 years ago, I would have given you different advices about the industry and anime. I'm sure by next year I'll be giving you different advices. As long as you're willing to continue to grow and not hold like grudges and mistakes, because you never know when you turn a corner or whatever happens, because someone that you have, you know, maybe not great relationship because of XYZ could be your best friend or partner in the future as well too.
So for current high schoolers, what advice would you give if they want to like go into the film industry or like take a path that you've taken?
Definitely get started to understand. It goes back to that professional side. I imagine all of you like anime, video games, manga, movies. You consume it as a hobby, I'm sure. You probably want to meet your favorite voice actor or director or celebrity one of these days, or your favorite gamer or streamer, right? How do you differentiate yourself as a fan versus a professional? Because even myself, I'll still get starstruck. Oh my god, that's so-and-so, right? But you have to also keep in the professional side and the fan side, but take advantage of that fan side that you have and work on the professional side. So if you're a big fan of something, look into the professional side. Are there internships and everything? What you guys are doing here is a good step to be surrounded by professionals and those that work in the industry and then get a feel for it, so that if this is something you do want to do, you can pursue. Because I think I know a lot of people say, oh, if it's you turn your hobby into your job, you don't work a single day in your life. I don't know about that. Like right now, working on anime, I don't have a lot of time watching anime anymore because I'm so engrossed in the production and the day-to-day that sometimes my consumption of anime is a little bit of cheating, where I have to speed through it because there's so much to consume as well too. So I don't get to enjoy anime as much, to where I will intentionally sometimes play a different video game by a different company because I know I'm not tied to them whatsoever, or I won't work with that company yet because that may turn into a job. I want to keep this as my enjoyment. So it's that separation of, yeah, it would be really cool to work in anime video game, but also understanding like, is that something you want to do? And it sounds great to be a streamer or influencer, right, or a movie actor, but look into it. And it's not an easy decision for sure as a high schooler, but be mindful it's definitely a lot more complex and challenging.
Was there ever like an anime or a game that you play that made you decide, oh, I really want to go into this industry? Or was it more of like, like I guess like a formal path?
Overwatch definitely was what started it all. When that first came out, that was like the biggest thing. Now everyone's playing what, Marvel Rivals, probably Counter-Strike still. I think they're still playing Overwatch and Valorant, Apex Legends. So I played a lot of that too growing up as well. And I've been fortunate to know these games because they have come back in my career. Valorant, being run by Riot, has showed up a lot at EVO, which has crossed over with a lot of anime production. They've hired musicians from the anime industry and worked together, so there's actually a lot of overlap, and their Riot Games is a big anime fan. I think last week, Blizzard Entertainment and Overwatch announced a collaboration with Persona 5, so there's that crossover there again. And so having played all those games, that definitely helped. In terms of anime, I don't think there was one anime that got me into like, oh, I want to work in industry. I enjoyed it so much, and having watched it because you escape into that different environment, so different than gaming. especially in high school, I'm sure is like high school me even like, oh, that was rough, right? You have, I don't know how it is now, but like AP classes, SATs, internships, doing sports, volunteer time, dealing with nagging from your parents, getting that SAT, right? Which university you're gonna get into, writing that essay, making sure you're not spending a lot of time on your phone and video games. Like I was there too. I hated it, right? And everything. And of course, I'm getting a call right now. Pardon me. I can answer that later. Sorry about that. So there's a lot to figure out in high school, for sure. So I think definitely enjoy it and keep at it, because for me, I was lucky growing up and doing all these different things, and all these opportunities have at least come up to help me for my career as well.
Has there ever been like a real like kind of struggle point in your career that you're like,
Oh, yes, a
oh,
lot.
this is really difficult. I don't know if I can keep doing
A
this.
lot. Yes, there are many times that you just want to like give up, for sure, very easily, because the path I've taken with the executive and management and running my own companies, you're your own boss. So the ship goes where you go. But as a result, you set your own hours, your own time, and yeah, burnout has happened, where at times I'm like, maybe I should just stop this all and go work for one of the clients because a lot of them have offered jobs and opportunities. Right? Yeah, come work for us and full time, do all that, and that has come up many times with various of same clients I've worked with and other companies as well. No, it comes up many times, and I'm very lucky to have the support structure that I have with friends, families, and of course colleagues that encourage you and remind yourself that all these people are very supportive of what you do, and a lot of what they want to do is not possible, and just reminding yourself is very key. And also take breaks. Finally learn to take breaks. Like as you get older, you'll see like, oh, now I see why people spend a little bit more for the luxury, because you're taking care of yourself. Going out of high school, I'm like, oh, I will not. I remember going to Tokyo for the first time, 2019, and not having enough cash because everything was a cash-based society on a credit card, and I was like not sure whether to ask my parents for help, but I was so cheap on certain things that like I didn't spend certain nights. Like I did a day trip to Kyoto from Tokyo because I didn't want to stay the night because I bought the JR pass beforehand. So I was like, oh no, I shouldn't get it at night. And then that was my biggest regret. Like, no, like if you can get support, you can like take the time and enjoy it. And I think that relaxation I did do after COVID, finally going back to Kyoto with some money and actually relaxing, enjoying, and appreciating the culture and everything. And then, being reminded, oh, this is why you work on this, to support the creators that you love and enjoy, and them celebrating anime and Japan and everything. And then without you couldn't bring a lot of their prospects and opportunities. And I think the biggest drift for me too is every year whenever I bring a guest, even if it's the same event, whether it's Global Stage, Hollywood, or Anime Expo, or Anime NYC, they're always surprised, like, oh my god, this many people are here that love my work or the work that we work on. They always bring it back to Japan. Every single year they always get surprised of like, this is real, like here in America, these many people like our shows. Seeing that joy is definitely priceless, because you can't put a price on that. Even earlier too, we had a editor from Shueisha who worked on Musume Cinderella and other series. They were even up here thinking, oh, will anyone cosplay as the Musume characters? We didn't have one, we had 6, 7, 8 of them. I brought some of them up here being like, we actually have cosplayers. And when we were walking, I eavesdropped a little bit too, and what he said, wow, this was like the peak highlight of his trip, was getting to see cosplayers here in Hollywood of the series he worked on. Like he was so happy that he like made this trip. And it was very last minute. He wasn't originally supposed to come until 3 days ago, so it was a very last minute trip. But for him to be like, oh my god, I got to see this cosplay, and like that was one of his peak memories of this trip. That's priceless for sure.
If no one else has any questions, we can end on one final note. What's one piece of advice you'd give like high schoolers, college students to, I guess like get into like the film industry?
This is also a directed question to my brother too. Socialize. I know it's very easy to not be interested in environments, being put into social gatherings that you might not be interested in, whether it's not your personal interests or not something you would like to do. There's been many environments that I know my parents have put myself and my brother in, but be open to it, whether it is lending an ear or at least be attentive to it, because you never know what that can lead to. You might not appreciate it now, but I know my past me as a high schooler in university. I'm like, oh, why the heck did I do this? Did all this SAT stuff, blah, blah, blah. This AP didn't actually matter that much for some of the things, XYZ, what was the point? Eventually you learn that, oh, I see why my parents did that, or your families and friends do that. But yeah, being socially open to it and tune in. I know it's very easy now. Even myself, I'll be, like we use the term, I'll potato in bed and I'll bed rot a little bit too and turn off my brain with TikTok and everything. But there's a time and place for it, and when you're in this unique environment and social, ask questions like you guys right now. Continue doing that. I think as long as you become open to that, whether it's a very boring social gathering, which I've been to many of myself, and I'm like, why am I here? Free food, sure, but that's it. But listen, lend an ear, because you never know, because sometimes that's where sometimes doors open, and you'll be surprised where it could lead to.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for an
Thank you.
interview. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you.
Good job, Alex. What do you want?